You mean on the recycling side?
On the recycling side.
When we sell?
When
we
you sell
sell?
those,
Okay. When we market all of the recyclables and we sell the commodities, for the commingled materials, the bottles, the cans, the glass, we received last fiscal year about $3.7 million. That amount more than exceeds our costs of operations at the recycling center. Now, on the paper and mixed paper side, again, remember I described that we separate that out and it goes to the OPS folks,
Right.
and they separate, well, they get to market that. And the way that this contract that was agreed to many years ago is set out, they get the revenues. We don't get those.
So it's a wash.
It's a put or pay contract, so we pay them a certain fee, and we give them up to 90,000 tons of paper and cardboard a year, and then they get to keep the revenues. We are looking forward to, you know, the approaching, yeah, the end of that term of contract, because it will give us the opportunity to,
Make money.
yeah, to
And how
really
long?
be in a better situation.
When does it end?
What is what?
When does it end?
I think it's 2015.
Will we need to begin to separate like from other in order to have a better contract?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I can't say for sure because it's something, again, I was mentioning earlier that recycling is a very much evolving technology still. There are changes that are underway all the time. So I can't say that positively that won't happen, but I think that the market demand at this point for paper and cardboard is so strong that I don't really see that type of thing happening. Not for the sake of revenue necessarily. It's always a trade-off between asking residents and employees to separate things versus, you know, versus convenience friendly. And so it is definitely something we're very conscious of.
Federal government, a number of institutions have fairly rigid separation for the economics of being able to do it.
Right, businesses do. Oftentimes businesses do, because there's a difference between your high quality bond paper versus your newsprint versus, you know, different grades. So a lot of businesses, they do separate out their higher quality papers. There are a lot of large corporate headquarters that have been doing that for a very long time, and it's very lucrative. I guess what I was responding to is on the single family residential side. Okay, so what is the best waste management option? Always, first and foremost, the top of our waste management hierarchy is waste reduction, reducing waste to begin with. If we can get folks to reduce the amount of waste that they generate, it's great, because first of all, it's really instilling, again, a very good practice of thinking about whether or not you really need to buy that item, to use that item. You know, could you do this without having that item? Are there other ways of accomplishing this? Some of the things that we do to help instill this good habit: grass cycling, composting. Grass cycling is a very easy way of cutting the grass and prescribed lanes, and instead of going to the trouble of bagging it or putting it in a reusable container and then putting it out for collection, transportation and handling, for us to take it to our facility and create compost out of it, like leaf row or comp row, we really advocate that people really try and recycle it at the source. It cuts down on the transportation and handling needs.
How do you recycle at the source? What do you mean?
On your lawn.
Just
Mulching mower or regular mower, you just cut the
Yeah.
grass and let it lay. Let the clippings lay
The
on
point was
grass.
to make it look beautiful and remove all that extra grass. So if you're putting it back
You know
on your lawn.
Mulching mower takes care of it.
No. It's actually, it does not detract from the beauty of your lawn, nor does it detract from the health of your lawn, if you do it the right way.
I want to make sure that it's full on. And
Grass,
remember,
then
we said about
you
it.
get clumps and dries up. No, that's not the way to do it. There's a way to do it, so it just goes right back into the grass cutting mess.
Yeah.
And you're saving fertilizer.
Yes, you do. That's true. It's a really good natural fertilizer.
I've always wondered where the grass and sticks that you put in the yard trim can go. Is that simply waste or?
No, it is recycled.
Right.
If you put it out at the curb, either in those paper lawn bags or a reusable container, we have a yard trim truck. We pick that up. All those yard trim materials are brought to our recycling center / transfer station where everything seems to happen. What we do is we unload that material from the trucks, and the grass and the leaves are actually transferred to rail cars. The brush is actually chipped up, mulched up at the transfer station. The grass and leaves they go by rail car to our Dickerson compost facility in the northernmost section of the county. And what we do is we have acres and acres of windrows, and we mix the grass and the leaves, and we create a very high quality product. I don't know if any of you have gone to Home Depot or Lowe's and you've seen Leaf Grow, Compro, those are our products.
Thank you so much. I've had a lot of these questions for a long time. I'm so glad you could answer.
Sure. Good. Some of the other things that we advocate, double-sided copying. I was so happy to see in the game that you've got going, there were little index cards, and some of the folks were actually turning them over and putting their choices or picks, their entries on the back side. That's great. So instead of using 2 individual cards, for example, you take 1 card and you use both sides of it. Using reusable containers and mugs. There are actually a lot of reusable containers that we obtain without really going out and shopping specifically for them. If you go to the grocery store and you buy a pound of coleslaw, oftentimes it comes in this sort of tub, little round tub with a lid. I have thousands of them. If anyone needs any. I reuse them, and they're perfect. So I don't need to go out and buy Tupperware or Rubbermaid necessarily. I just use those. If you ever go and get takeout food, oftentimes, again, you'll find that you kind of collect up these round containers with a clear plastic lid. It's perfect. So I put leftovers into those containers. I'll tell you a story. As much as I thought I was passionate about waste reduction and recycling, my sister, and by the way, it's kind of like a homecoming. We grew up on North Belgrade Road.
Oh.
I grew up on North Belgrade Road.
That's our block.
Oh,
That's where I
really?
live. Yeah, what number?
1005.
Oh my gosh. That's so, we're the 1200 block. We were with the neighbors.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Did you find any tubs?
So it's very funny. So, I think I'm very into waste reduction and recycling. So my sister, who actually is quite younger than me, so actually we moved away when she was little, but when she was living in Philadelphia, it just about killed her not to be able to recycle in the city of Philly. So every 8 weeks, when she had actually a Saturday and Sunday off of school, she would drive home to see us down here. She'd pop open the trunk of the car. Unbelievable. The entire trunk had all of her recyclables in there for the past couple of months. So that was fine. Well, she continues. So then from there, she moved to the West Coast for a while. And just in the last couple of years, she's moved back to this area, Montgomery County.